Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing good. Let's begin with your chapter, The Address, written by Marga Minko. This short story is a poignant account of a daughter who, in search of her mother's belongings after the war in Homeland, who goes in search of her mother's belongings after the war. So, there was a war, and many people means 90% of the Jews living there had to move to other countries. So they moved this girl who will be narrating the story. She moved along with her mother. She moved along with her mother to some other country, and now when the war has stopped, when everything is in peace, she comes back to that place where she lived with along with her mother and another woman. She returns to that place where her mother left everything back with that lady. So we will see what happens when she visits that place and how that woman reacts to her visiting there. When she finds them, the objects evoke memories of her earlier life. So when she finds those things, those things, they evoke memories. They bring back the memories of her earlier life. However, she decides to leave them all behind and resolves to move on. She decides to leave all these things because that woman, she didn't want to return the things. So we will study about this further in the chapter. Let's begin. Do you still know me? I asked. So this daughter, she will be narrating the entire story. Okay, she asks someone, that woman actually. So do you know me? She asks. The woman looked at me searchingly. So that lady, she looked at her searchingly, means she was trying to identify her. She had opened the door a chink, means just a little bit. She opened the door just a little bit, that lady. I came closer and stood on the step. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 steps in front of her house, right? So on those steps, she the daughter, that girl, she came closer to that woman and she stood on one of the steps. No, I don't know you, the woman replied. She said that I don't know you. The daughter then said, I am Mrs. S's daughter. She held her hand on the door as though she wanted to prevent it opening any further. That lady, she held the door, so means she didn't want her to come inside. She didn't even open the door properly. Her face gave absolutely no sign of recognition, means that lady was not able to recognize the girl. She kept staring at me in silence. She didn't speak anything. She just kept looking at the girl, that lady. Perhaps I was mistaken. The girl then thought that maybe she doesn't recognize me, or maybe I am wrong, I have come to the wrong place. So she said, perhaps I was mistaken. I thought perhaps it isn't her. The girl kept on thinking that maybe I have come to the wrong place. I had seen her only once fleetingly, and that was years ago. She said that I had seen her only once in my life and I was too young. Also, I was in a hurry, so maybe I could be wrong. It was most probable that I had rung the wrong bell. The woman let go of the door and stepped to the side. Now that woman, she stepped aside. She almost went back. She was wearing my mother's green knitted cardigan. Means she stepped a little bit back, and that girl could see that lady, she was wearing her mother's cardigan. The wooden buttons were rather pale from washing, so the color had washed out due to constant washing, and she saw that I was looking at the cardigan and half hid herself again behind the door. So that lady, she came to know that, she realized that this girl is looking at my cardigan and this is her mother's cardigan. So that lady, she hid her besides the door. But I knew now that I was right. But now that girl, this girl, she was sure that she had not rung the wrong bell. She is right. This is the only place she had to visit. Well, you knew my mother, I asked. So the daughter, she again confirmed that you knew my mother, right? She wanted to confirm. Have you come back? Said the woman. So the woman said that, have you come back? She asked. I thought that no one had come back. She said, I thought that nobody will come back, or nobody had come back. The girl replied, only me. She said that it's only me who have come back, nobody else. The door opened and closed in the passage behind her. So besides that, behind that lady, a door opened and then closed, and a musty smell emerged. A very strong smell. She could smell something really strong. I regret I cannot do anything for you. So that lady said that, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you. I can't. She didn't even want to meet that girl because she thought that all the things that lady had left for her, now she will have to return those things. So she didn't want to talk to that girl. I have come here especially on the train. I wanted to talk to you for a moment. That girl said that I have come specially just to meet you, she told that lady on train. And she said she wants to talk to that lady. It's not convenient for me now, said the woman. I can't see you another time. That lady replied that it is not convenient. She didn't want to meet her actually. She didn't want her to come inside the house, so she said that I can't talk to you right now. Maybe some other day, but not today. She nodded and cautiously closed the door as though no one inside the house should be disturbed. Now, what did she do? She nodded means she denied. She moved her head and denied, and very carefully she closed the door and she pretended as if inside the house nobody should be disturbed. So you just go away. I stood where I was on the step. Now she closed the door. That woman, she closed the door. That girl was standing at the same place on the same step. She didn't move behind. The curtain in front of the bay window moved. The window that was visible from outside, the curtain there moved. Someone stared at me. Someone from there looked at that girl from that window and would then have asked what I wanted. Oh, nothing, the woman would have said. It was nothing. So she's imagining something that might be going inside. Someone would have asked that woman that who was there outside, and then she would have replied that no one, it was nothing, something like that she thought might be happening inside. I looked at the nameplate again. She looked at the nameplate of that house. Darling, it said. So it was written Darling in black letters and on white enamel, means there was white base, and on the jam a bit higher the number 46. The house number was written a little bit higher and the house number was 46. So this is it for today. Further we will continue in the next video. Thank you.